over and on for a few days, or for a day at least. And this picture was painted for us by a very dear brother in the Lord, an elder from the South Houston congregation, Sidney Vaughn. He wanted, can't see it, I'm sorry, let me get this out of the way. Everybody can see it? It's a beautiful picture. I'll read it to you while you look at it. This painting is entitled, "One of These Little Ones." It is given to our young people of summer excitement and in honor of the supreme gift by our Lord and for His glory. Sidney Vaughn painted this picture for you. It's your picture. This is your painting. He wanted to give it to you in a very, very special way. Sidney Vaughn told me a little bit about the painting. He said that he likes to paint this kind of a painting because he likes animals. He sees animals as a kind of beautiful example of God's tenderness and mercy and beauty. He loves flowers as the expression of His love for us. He loves nature scenes because he sees nature somehow as expressing God more perfectly than other things could possibly express Him. He mentioned to me in the letter that flower, the idea that I got from Sidney, the flowers that grow in some parts of the world and no one ever sees them at all, and God just creates that flower because that's His thing. He creates. It's a beautiful gift to us from Sidney Vaughn. And it's a symbol of the gift of love that God gave to us. Jesus Christ was the creator, is the creator of this wonderful universe. And you can imagine the glorious, wonderful, majestic place this place was before we blew it up with our sin. You can imagine, because we can see the beauty of the Grand Tetons, the beauty of the Grand Canyon, the beauty of the redwood forest, the beauty of the eastern and southern and western coasts, and we get a hint of how beautiful this world once was. But can you imagine, before the fall, just how wonderful it was? Do you suppose that when Adam looked up into the sky at night, since his eyes were perfect eyes, they hadn't fallen yet from sin, do you suppose he could see much further into the universe? Do you suppose that the flowers and the trees that grew were 20 times larger? And we had maybe 3,000 or 4,000 more colors than we have now? Do you suppose that what man once lived in was a place so wonderful, so beautiful, that all he could do while he was there was thank God that he was there? I think that's the place it probably was. Now, can you imagine what it was like when Adam and Eve decided to rebel against God and spoil this wonderful work of art created by our Lord? Can you imagine the feeling in the angels when they saw man take this gift and destroy it? Can you just imagine the feelings of God when He saw man, created by His Son, take the creation that He was put in and destroy it with His sin? That'd be pretty hard to imagine. It would be like one of you coming up here and just painting over this picture. Can you imagine that? One of you decide, I don't like that picture, and just crossing it out with a big black X. Every one of us would be angry, very angry at that person for doing that. But that's what our sin did. It took the creation of God and it destroyed it. We don't understand just how bad sin is. That's because we don't understand just how good is. But if we could have been there and seen the destruction of sin and what it did to God and Jesus' majestic handiwork, all of us would have cried bitterly to lose such a beautiful, beautiful work of art. Well, as shocking as that was, Jesus decided that the world could be saved. It was terribly mutilated. It was terribly, terribly marred. But there was a way to save it. The angels didn't know how to save it. The seraphim and the cherubim didn't know how to save the world. They just saw it as a lost cause. It was a grand and noble experiment, but it didn't work. Man was a wonderful creature while he lasted, but he didn't last very long. He rebelled, and he didn't anymore obey God. But Jesus knew better. He knew there was a way to save this wonderful thing he had created. But it was going to be expensive. It was going to cost a lot. It meant that he was going to have to come into our planet and live just like us. And he was going to have to allow men and women to ridicule him. Him, the one who created them, the one who gave them their voices, the one who gave them the ability to think up the insults. They were using those insults and using that ability to attack and to horribly, brutally, viciously destroy that glorious and wonderful and marvelous being. Can you imagine what the angels felt when suddenly they realized, as history went on, suddenly they realized what was going to happen? When suddenly they realized that this planet called Earth was going to be saved, but the cost was going to be the humiliation and the death of this one known as the Son of God. He would give up his glory. He would give up his reputation. He would lay it all aside. He would come down to earth, and he would let that happen to him. It's scandalous.